Good evening, 5th graders, and thanks for tuning in to Miss Sellers TV. On tonight's episode, we're doing a preview of Canada. And the reason we're talking about modern-day Canada is we're working on New France, and we're learning about how the influences of the French still apply today to modern Canada, our neighbor to the north. So here are the standards. These are actually 4th grade standards that you may not have been able to cover last year. I always help out the teachers by doing for them. On a map of North America, locate Canada, its provinces, and I would tell you, and territories. Okay, they're called both. And its major cities. That's a geography standard. Now, provinces and territories in Canada are kind of like our states. They actually only have 13 of them, so they're bigger than some of our states. Canada, in terms of land and size, is actually larger than the United States. We're also going to try to look a little bit at identifying the major language groups in Canada, their geographic location, and the relationships among them. Here's North America. You should recognize it, and we know that Canada is located here to the north of the United States. And here you see a map that I labeled for you with the 13 provinces. So you can see here's number 1. I'm going to go over all the names in a minute. Here's number 2. Can you see the outline of Maine right here? We'll talk about that in a minute. Number 3 is this teeny tiny island right here. Number 4 is these two pieces together, which you should know from Vikings. Number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. 13, you should remember, also contains my favorite other island from the Vikings. Okay? And we're going to go over some other general things about the geography as well. So here is a map of Canada with the territories and provinces filled in for you. And I've drawn a few other things in for you as well. You're going to be making your own map in class on Friday, so I really wanted you to have a preview of this ahead of time. Hopefully we did this in class today as well, but this will serve as a reminder for you tonight. So, number 1 was Nova Scotia, over here. It's one of the Atlantic provinces, okay? I'm going to move it in and out so you can see it. I will tell you one thing. On this map, which came from Smart Notebook, you'll see a lot of blue, okay? And you know I don't like land being colored blue, but it's the colors they came at and it's the colors I left them. So anyway, Nova Scotia, right here. New Brunswick, right here, the green one that borders, you can see, Maine. The smiley face represents us here in Massachusetts. So see, these ones are not that far from us. And then we have this little teeny tiny one, looks like a fish. It's called PEI. It's also known as Prince Edward Island. Then, together with Newfoundland and Labrador, okay, which is technically one province called, ready for this, Newfoundland and Labrador, we have what we call the Atlantic provinces. Okay, you recognize Newfoundland, you know that the Vikings probably landed there and probably settled there and left behind evidence in that town of Lonza Meadows that was right here on the tip. Okay? We have Quebec, okay, where most of the French settlements of New France actually happened, along the St. Lawrence River, like Quebec City and Montreal. We have Ontario, which has the capital of Canada today, Ottawa. Ontario, you can see, also borders many of the Great Lakes that are also part of the United States. We'll come back to those after. We have Manitoba, Saskatchewan, one of my other favorite names, and Alberta. They're called the Prairie Provinces of Canada because they grow a lot of the greens. British Columbia, where the Olympics was a few years ago, in Vancouver. We have the Yukon Territory, which, don't forget, borders Alaska. What's called the Northwest Territories. And my favorite, Nunavut. Now, Nunavut is home to this island here, which you remember is actually Baffin Island. Probably flat rock land to the Vikings. Now, don't forget, this is the Arctic Ocean up here. Miss Sellers' pet peeve. Arctic, right? Don't forget the C in the middle. Don't forget the island of Greenland is right here. This is Hudson Bay, where our dear departed friend Henry Hudson became a Hudsonical with his son James. Maybe here, don't forget, this is James Bay. Okay? Pacific Ocean over here and Atlantic Ocean over here. So Canada touches 3 oceans, in fact. The Great Lakes. I just want to make a quick reminder. A lot of kids come into 5th grade telling me, oh, I know the Great Lakes. I know Holmes. And I say, right, Holmes is a little bit helpful. But that doesn't tell you the order of them, okay? It's really Superior, the big one here, right? Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario. So I, of course, have a silly little way of remembering it, and I say, Smehio. S-M-H-E-O. Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, Ontario. The 3 consonants come first, then the 2 vowels. Smehio. S-M-H-E-O. Maybe that will help you remember the lakes as well. Okay? Any trick you can make that will help you remember things is worthwhile. So guys, we're going to be working on this map of Canada, and it is the expectation that you'll know these 13. There's a lot of N's. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Northwest Territories, Nunavut, Newfoundland. So there's a lot of ones to keep track of. See if there's any ways that you can help yourself remember what they are. Okay? And we'll be working on this map in class on Friday. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next exciting episode.